took it over in the first half, and that second quarter in particular. Well, they won every quarter. In fact, they won the second quarter by 13. 32 in the paint in the first half, 15 assists to just a single turnover. And you heard Steve Kerr, he said it in the interview earlier, and he said it in the post-game interview. This is what he was most pleased about, the single turnover. This is something he's been driving all season. It's one of the few, I wouldn't call it an Achilles heel, but one of the few areas where the Warriors could improve over the course of the year. He was so happy about this development.
Well, I mean, because they didn't shoot the basketball well. So
right.
If they control their turnovers and their defense is solid like it usually is with all their versatility, good things usually happen. They move without the basketball. When guys are open, they get the basketball. Here, they try to kind of string out Steph Curry a little bit. Everyone's unselfish. The spacing is good. No one wants to leave Klay Thompson. They're working on the glass. They're moving without the basketball. Here you go, backdoor layup. It's constant movement. It's constant motion. You have a bunch of versatility here, screening, big guys diving. You have shooters in the corners, spacing over the top. It's constant. Everyone, look at, everyone's moving. Somebody's open, boom, you get the basketball, your feet are set. Okay, we're going to keep moving without the basketball. Steph Curry with another offensive rebound. His shoulders are set, Klay Thompson. They just continually, everyone moves, makes plays. If you're open, you get the basketball. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
The Rockets, though, they're caught stargazing, ball gazing.
Yeah.
They're looking up the basketball to see where it's going to land, maybe, but they're not keeping track of their own guys. The Warriors are seeing the Rockets look at the ball, and they're moving, changing their angles, changing their space, and then all of a sudden they're turning around to find their guy, and he's like, which way do you go, George? Yeah. And the guys are wide open for threes, and the Golden State Warriors are finding their guys.
Well, and Kevin McHale touched on it a little bit. He said, we got to come out and fight. And that was evidenced by all the rebounds. For one, they were minus 21 on the boards, 17 offensive rebounds for the Golden State Warriors along the way. They just didn't play as hard as they could have. I mean,
all the movement,
missing shots, all the other stuff, that stuff happens. But you heard Jeff Van Gundy say it during the broadcast. There were times when it looked like they had quit a little bit in this game.
Well, they got frustrated, there's no question. And like Mike said, they were stargazing a little bit because the ball was moving, bodies were moving. Once they got down, they started forcing some things. And then obviously their guys struggled. Their superstar James Harden obviously didn't have a great game, and he has to perform at a high level like he did on the road. That didn't happen. And the bench guys didn't perform well, but it came down to their defense. They cannot give up 115 points and get beat on the glass the way they did and expect to win a basketball game at this level.
Well, the other portion of it, I think, is they got very frustrated at the offensive end of the floor. The times that they did have opportunities in the open court, they didn't finish. I mean, Golden State is a terrific defensive team, but those plays got turned on them. They had advantages going in on the break. They either got stripped or they missed, and Golden State came right back and scored the ball on them, which, is very disheartening from the standpoint of the morale of everybody just watching, like, oh, no, this just happened again.
35-point game. You guys have both been in the locker rooms. You've both been coaches in this circumstance where your team gets blown out, doesn't play as hard as it should have. What do you say? First of all, you're facing elimination. Secondly, you just got beaten up. You got thumped by 35. What is the post-game speech or the off-day speech?
Kevin McHale is saying, guys, we came back from 3-1 to do something. It's only happened 9 times. Now we're down 3-0. And it's happened 117 times, and 3 times guys are forced to Game 7. Let us be that team. Let us do things that nobody else has done. I think they were trying to do this.
Yeah. Numbers are kind of going in the wrong direction here, though, certainly in terms of shooting and scoring for Houston, and that's what they did well over the course of the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, they just are playing on their heels right now. I mean, they played well on the road. They had some chances, couldn't capitalize, but then tonight, got to give Golden State credit. They jumped on them early. They've been playing very good basketball on the road, and they got a lot of top performances. And then their superstar just kind of set the tone for them. I think, like Mike said, Houston got frustrated. They tried to get back too quick, too fast, and then Golden State made them pay for it. But they have to lock in better. Too many open shots, too many things going on. They have to execute better. And then James Harden's got to play like a superstar, and he struggled this evening.
Got beat by 21 on the boards.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an effort game right there.
Right.
Start at the gate. Okay, and then from there they got beat by 16, 58-42 in the paint.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to give Golden State credit for their focus on how they came out and how they would discipline to attack, particularly in the first half.
Here's your stat of the night presented by Corona Extra. It's really a number of stats, and they don't reflect well on James Harden in Game 3, who had 17 points on 3 of 16 shooting, second worst postseason shooting night of his career. He had a 2 of 11 night against the Lakers back in 2012. Just 20% from three-point range as well. And this is after games 1 and 2 in which he was so good. And I don't know that I even necessarily agree with the premise of this question, but it'll be asked more than likely in the news conference here coming up. And it crossed my mind, is there any chance that there was any kind of a hangover effect from the way Game 2 ended for James Harden?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he's been there, done that. I mean, he's had a spectacular season. He's a superstar in this league, first-team All-NBA. But at the end of the day, he just had an off night, and give the Warriors credit.